I want to stick with this topic because the wildfires burning out west is just one example that extreme weather everyone on this planet is facing right now. This idea of we preventing climate change. The climate's changed and we're dealing with it. Tropical storms Paulette and RENE are churning in the Atlantic. We're up to R in our list of storms in the Atlantic. We're not even halfway through September. We're probably going to run out of names this year. In the Pacific, 2 typhoons made landfall in South Korea and southwestern Japan in just a week. 5 typhoons have struck South Korea this season alone. That's a new record. And all of this comes as a new report out this week predicts that more than 1 billion people could be displaced by 2050 because of climate change. But again, we say the words 2050. Right now, there are people displaced in Oregon right now, and it's 2020. Al Roker, of course, is co-host of the Today Show. He joins me now. And Al, you know, we talk about preventing climate change, worrying about 2050. I think this is the year, if we didn't realize it, it's happened. All of the what are we facing? We're facing fires out west that we've never seen before. We have to change our thinking on this, don't we?
We absolutely do, Chuck, because like you said, 6 of the top 20 fires occurring right now. 3 of the top 4 largest burning fires are going on. And it's not, there's no end in sight right now. And climate change is leading to these larger, more frequent and intense fires. And interestingly enough, you know, there was talk, oh, well, California's not managing its forests well. Well, the August complex, good part of it's in the Mendocino National Forest. So that's federal land. Right now, 3 million acres are burning in California, almost 1 million acres burning in Oregon. And the wildfire season, because of climate change, Chuck, 105 days longer than since 1970. 3 times as many large fires, 6 times as many acres burned. And it's not just fire, it's air quality. Smoky conditions for the entire West Coast, hazardous air quality for parts of the Northwest. We have air quality alerts for unhealthy air, Central California, and all of Oregon and Washington. And there's a major drought going on. That's another part of climate change. 68% of the western states are in some sort of drought, a number of them in extreme and exceptional drought. And this report from the UN and the World Meteorological Organization, united in science, the Earth continues to warm. 2020, probably going to be the hottest year on record. And Chuck, from 2016 to 2020, it's set to be the warmest 5-year period on record. Our polar ice caps melting at a record pace in July. Sea level rise accelerating, which leads to, of course, sea level rise along our coast. Greenhouse gases since 1990, CO2 emissions up 62%. Those trap excessive heat. That causes the polar ice caps to start melting. And, of course, climate change with more ice melt, with more sea level rise, that puts more moisture into the air. That provides more energy for rapidly intensifying hurricanes and severe impacts from droughts and floods. And we're now in a La Niña, Chuck. And so that means sea surface temperatures are below average across the equatorial Pacific. What does that mean for us? Well, generally, the jet stream will bring an active storm track into the Pacific Northwest, the Great Lakes. Yeah. But it stays dry down south. There's no El Nino, which tears apart hurricanes. So more active tropics in the Atlantic. And as you mentioned, we're going to be looking at Paulette. This may hit Bermuda as a Category 2 storm. And as you look at our investigation areas all across the Atlantic, from Africa into the Gulf, look at this. So there you have it. I mean, it's an active season. Yeah. And as you said, we just passed the peak middle part of the hurricane season.
And just this warming water, it means that New Jersey's the new North Carolina, right? New Jersey, the minute you're going to have to worry about hurricane possibly hitting more often than you used to before. That's the reality, right? Is this the adaptation that Americans have to start preparing for?
That's right, Chuck. And look, you're seeing. I was just in Cape Cod this past week, and a number of beaches. They got giant signs out with sharks. Well, why are they seeing more shark sightings? Well, seals are moving further north, lobster moving further north, seals, and so the sharks are chasing the food. It just continues to feed upon itself. It is a chain reaction that we're not seeing stopping anytime soon. And what it sounds like, it also can accelerate as all this stuff happens anyway.
Al Roker,
Yes.
really appreciate it. Thank you, sir, as always. And thank you all for being with us and trusting us this hour. We'll be back Monday, of course, with more Meet the Press Daily. And if it's Sunday, it is Meet the Press on NBC. Please don't miss it. We'll see you then. MSNBC's coverage continues with Katie Tur right after this break.